Hello and welcome to another episode of the Weekly Song Podcast. Thank you for joining us for another episode of songwriting and where we each have written a song. My name is Roger Heathers and with me as always is songwriting extraordinaire Declan Kitchener. How's it going?
Who couldn't make it today, so he's been replaced by me!
But you have also written a song.
I have also written a song, yeah.
Okay.
It's functionally the same.
Well, that's good.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good to hear.
How about yourself?
Myself as well. I don't know why I'm talking like that.
I don't know why I'm talking
Alright, governor, here we go.
How many songs? This is our fourth song now that we're bringing
of
this season.
Yeah.
This is our 250th song as far as the podcast goes back. Because this has been going a long, long time. Okay, if you're new to the show, what this...
Is this actually 250 or are you just making numbers up?
Oh, no. If it was 250, there'd be a banner.
Yeah, we'd have got coloured chalk.
Yeah, there would be something great. But yeah, for those of you who are new to the show, you've never seen this before, seen or heard, you might be listening to this. We're also on YouTube.
And if you're just watching this on YouTube, you can take away the visuals anytime you like and just have us as audio as well, if you prefer.
Just visually mute us, it's fine. So this is the show where Declan and myself, we each write a song in the space of a week, and we both bring the songs to this podcast. We haven't heard each other's songs, and we play them to each other, and we talk about how we wrote them, how we did that in a week, and just generally music chat, really, and other silliness and stuff like that.
Indeed. Other silliness like that does take up much more of the running time than we generally intend.
This is true. Yeah, and as tradition dictates, we take it in turns as to who goes first on the show to play their song first to the other person, and this week it's Declan's go.
And that's all for this episode, so thank you very much for watching.
Ta-ra!
It's an oldie but a goodie. So my song this week is called Lodestar, and it goes like this, I think. If I'm running, I could make my track far away from here. I could get my things together, yeah, and one day disappear. Start my journey eastward home, to home and pastures new. All I need is one good reason for me to make my move. I could take back all my hours, I could take back all my time. I could only talk to people that I wanted in my life. I could go to all the places I have only heard about. I could start with big ideas and the rest I'll figure out. One day I'll make it happen, one day I'll come baptized, one day I'll navigate by the lodestar shining light. One day I'll make it happen, I'll head on out the door. There's a chance that you won't see me anymore. If I wanted, I could make my tracks far away from here. But for promises I always make that always keep me near. In my better days I have my share, keep my smile on shore. But the clock is always counting down to the day I have to go. One day I'll make it happen, one day I'll cut my ties, one day I'll navigate by the lodestar shining light. One day I'll make it happen, I'll head on out the door. There's a chance that you won't see me anymore. One day I'll make it happen, one day I'll cut my ties, one day I'll navigate by the lodestar shining light.
Okay, so that was Lodestar, Declan's 4th song of this season. Oh, come on! What an amazing song!
Yes, and it only took 5 chords to get there as well.
Can I tell you 3 things I like about it right off the top of the bat? Off the bat.
You have to stand on the bat, but okay.
Off the top of the bat, okay?
Yes.
One, I like that in the verse 2, every line begins with I could. I like that you start up here on the fretboard, and for audio listeners, I'm talking about like 7th, 8th fret, something like that. And by the end of the song, your register's gone up, and you're down here with like heavier, more open chords. And the third thing is just generally it's a great song. I couldn't think of 3 like specific things, but it's amazing.
You picked a number and you thought, I've got to pick another thing. Oh no, there's not enough things in the song.
There are enough things in the song, I tell you.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a bit more of a simple one than I would normally write, and it only has verses and choruses, only 3 of one and 3 of the other. It's perfectly balanced as all things should be. The I could thing is sort of accidental, and then I think there's a version in my notes where one of them starts with like I will or I should, and I thought, no, let's change that.
Yeah, you've got a theme. Stick, really commit to it.
Yeah, but it also fits for that point in the song. It's like, yeah, I could go away if I wanted to. I could make it. I could go on a voyage, and it's just like, yeah, cool. That fits there. Let's lean into that. Same reason that the choruses are all like, one day.
It's all like future. I could. I want to.
Yeah, so this one kind of started with the guitar as normal. It's basically you are playing, if you play guitar and you're listening to the audio version and you want to work this out, it's the 8th fret on the low E string, the B string, and the high E string. You mute A and D, and then you sort of walk up to F, and then you walk down to G over D. So it really is just a 1-4-5 song. I've finally done it. 1-4-5.
Can I ask though, because it's very like kind of almost, I don't want to say cowboy chords, but open kind of like 1-4-5 chords. But you're playing up there. Does that give you some suspensions you wouldn't otherwise have by playing up there on the fretboard?
Sort of. It cuts out the E for one thing, so it's basically a very big power chord.
That's a title, maybe.
A very big power chord. Ooh. It's keeps a G in that F, so it's probably a F power chord with a 9 on the top. I'm not certain.
I think generally though, the fact you've got the higher up notes but also the open strings means it's almost got a 12 string type of feel.
It does feel a bit like there's a big gap between some of those notes, which is nice. Keeps it a bit airy and sort of floaty up until you go for like more normal chords in the chorus. So yeah, I just found that was cool. I thought, right, okay, that will eat up a few minutes, and then I looked up my
way to gust the spirit.
And then I looked at my voice recorder. It's like, oh, basically doing like 3 verses and 2 choruses is basically the length of time anyway. Cool, I have less to write in words this time, and I've been on a bit of a Red Dwarf kick recently.
I remember, you told me after the pod last week.
Yeah, big old Red Dwarf kick. Does that
explain what a lodestar is?
No. Lodestar is basically a navigation term. It's like a star in the sky which you sort of orient yourself with, and you use that to navigate.
From my village, we call that a North Star.
Lodestar can be the North Star.
Lodestar is way cooler though.
Thank you. It's named after a steam engine.
Oh, cool.
Or rather, the steam engine is named after the Lodestar. But yeah, I've been on a bit of a Red Dwarf kick recently, and the theme tune for that song, the closing theme tune, is basically, it's cold outside, there's no kind of atmosphere, I'm all alone, more or less. Let me fly far away from here. I want to lie shipwrecked and overdosed, drinking fresh mango juice. Goldfish shoals nibbling at my toes, which is a weird theme song for a space show, but also it's a show about being stuck with the person you hate the most for all eternity. So it's that I've got to get out kind of thing.
Right.
And then I've also been watching The Prisoner. Of course I have. which the whole point of that series is like someone trying to escape this sinister island or this sinister village that's sort of devising more and more weird ways to keep number 6 trapped there.
Yes, this is where the famous "I'm not a number, I'm a man" or whatever it is.
I'm not a number, I'm a free man.
That's it, a free man.
Yes. I have watched it very recently for the first time. That last episode, oh my goodness, what is that?
I wish I knew.
I don't think anybody does know. All I know is that the Beatles are in it.
I'd have to check it out.
Well, All You Need Is Love is in it, and that's all I'll say.
Huh.
Have you not seen the show?
No. I mean, I've seen, bits and pieces.
It's been referenced enough that you've probably got a good idea.
I've seen the Simpsons parody, what I mean?
Which I think that's actually Patrick McGoogan doing the voice as well.
Oh, right, it's the same guy as in the actual Prisoner
number
show.
6, yeah.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah, I recommend checking it out. But the thing that sort of unites both Red Dwarf and the Prisoner is that wanting to escape.
Yeah.
And that's a fairly universal thing. I think most people feel at some point you can sort of just have that desire to sort of go, fuck everything, let's go.
Yeah, that thing of like, I could move to London and I could just start over.
Yeah, I could just drop everything tomorrow and it would be fine. And I was sort of saying with Fletch the other day, again, name drop 2 off the season. But yeah, when we met up, we were having a bit of a conversation of like, you get to a certain point and you realise, hold on, wait a minute, I've got a car, I've got petrol, I've got time, I could just go and do that.
Yeah. Like, what's stopping you, sort of thing?
Yeah. Even if it's just for the day, like, I could drive to Wales.
Yeah.
I could drive up to Yorkshire. I could go to Paris for the weekend.
I think you need a road trip. Well, we need a Weekly Song Podcast road trip. We should go somewhere.
Well, going around all the open mic nights of the country or something.
Yeah, why not?
Season 20, baby!
Live, every episode from a different place.
It will be a shambles and you'll love it. So that explains the words, basically. But also I kind of felt that it needed to sort of progress in some way by the end. So that's why it goes from, there's a chance you won't see me anymore, to, yeah, you probably won't see me anymore.
Yeah.
Like to give a little bit of closure and also have an excuse to go into that little bit of the
yes. And what made you want to kind of like change those lower chords?
It's the loud part of the song.
Yeah.
It will be loud now.
That's a fair point, actually. Yeah.
They just have a bit more like body and volume to them than the higher up chords. And yeah, I don't know why I put it in 2 different registers, but I did, and I think it works.
It works really well. No, yeah, definitely, it works great because it shows off your range, and
limited as it is,
and it just kind of creates some bombast, because that's great,
I think the thing is, like, this now sort of hinders it a little bit for playing it live, because you probably got a bit of an impression of it here. But playing that live, you could start off like, if I wanted, I could make my tracks. That's fair enough. That'll work. But by the time you get to that, like, if I wanted, I could make my tracks, all that stuff, you really want a bit more than the acoustic guitar can provide at that particular
moment. You want some drums or...
You want boom, boom, boom.
And a bass with a fuzz face on it. That's what you need. Yeah. I mean, this is very like, I can see this being produced like a Frank Turner song, and that you start out acoustic guitar. By the end, it's everything. You know what I mean? It is big and it's shouty.
I think that could work. Yes. If this has a future, that is probably it.
Oh, come on, please! This is going to have a future. We should do it together as a Schnookums song. That'd be great.
Yes, we should.
For audio listeners, I just shit my pants because I thought the audio had stopped. We're good.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be beautiful to edit that. Will. Yeah. This is a very simple song, so this section is really short. That is it.
Simple but well composed and fantastic. Really genuinely like this song.
Thank you. Does that mean you genuinely did not like all of my others?
I hated them so much. No.
Well, at least you're honest.
Well, no, this is fantastic, but I love it. It's really good.
Thank you very much. Oh, so I have shown this piece of A4 paper, which I shall crinkle for the audio listeners.
Here, now, audio listeners, you could be seeing that if you're on YouTube.
You could be seeing the stupid face I pulled probably as well. So that is my thing, my entire thing. What is your thing that takes up 2 pieces of A4 paper?
Well, my thing is a song that I wrote on this little tin can guitar. It is called Little Cracks, and it goes a little something like this. When everybody wins at the games you wanna play, it only takes a moment to throw it all away. But if you're gonna lose, then nobody can say you cared. You're leaning on a door that was never gonna give. How long you gonna try till you see it doesn't fit? There's something in the way of every little thing you do. Find where you tripped up last time. Leave a little sign for you. Someday you'll look back laughing, seeing all the time you knew. You write another line that they're never gonna hear, and think about the tune that was ringing in your ear. You wonder where it's gone and why it ever came to you. You wake another day, but the sun's already shone. You go to fix the cracks, but another one's formed. You take another break and see another new day through. Find where you tripped up last time, and leave a little sign for you. Someday you'll look back laughing, seeing all the time you knew.
So that was Roger's song, Little Cracks, and I can detect no little cracks in the structure of that one. That's beautiful. Hey.
Your first pun of my song of the season. So
Have I not been doing them?
no, you've just been going, that was Roger's song. Anyway, no, I'm joking. That is the first pun.
Oh, it's nice that I remember all my running jokes. So, that was your song. That was lovely. That was beautiful.
Right.
I really like the vibe of this one. Like, I don't know whether it's the tin can guitar or just like the particular register you're singing in, but it does have a wonderful little feeling of melancholy about it. You are playing that on an instrument which is not standard and is not tuned to concert pitch and has only got 3 strings, and I have difficulty working out what all of those chords are.
Me too.
Please explain.
Okay, so basically this little tin can guitar was built by me and my dad, and as you can see it's got 3 strings and 12
And a tin can.
and 12 frets and a tin can, and so it's a weird little instrument, and I don't know how it's supposed to be tuned because nothing else like this as far as I know exists, so I just tune it however I feel like on the day I pick it up. The day I picked it up to write this song...
I wish guitars worked like that, I really do.
Well, in a way, you can tune a guitar however you want. But I tuned this to a major chord.
Oh, that's really nice. Do we know which major chord?
We don't. We don't. Now, this song started on the acoustic guitar, the regular old acoustic guitar.
Oh, really?
With a sort of, basically this riff.
See, I would have thought that would have come out of that particular instrument because it's sort of using a lot of the open strings.
Exactly, yeah. I think the reason I tuned it to the major chord is because I knew that I started in E major on the acoustic guitar, and it was like that. I just had that riff for like about 4 days into the week, and I was like, I've got to write something. But every time I went to pick up the guitar, it was like I was kind of uninspired and just thinking like, I like that riff, but everything I come up with doesn't really work. I came up with the line, I don't want to sing what's already been sung.
It's like, there's the thesis of the song. Subtext has become text.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. I didn't want the subtext to be the text. I kind of didn't want to lean too much into that. So anyway, so I picked up this instrument thinking, I'll try and figure it out. So I tuned it to a major chord, kind of started figuring out like that. And then on my lyric sheet here, for the audio listeners, I've got, and the visual viewers, because no one can see this piece of paper.
They can now.
Oh my god. Like, I just written like the 1, 4, 5, you know what I mean? Like just the actual numbers of the chords.
Very neat handwriting, I must say.
Thank you. A lot of this is printed from the computer.
Oh, right. Including that bit.
I handwrite in Times New Roman.
Yeah, just like you hear you writing something down in the other room. It's just like.
I'm such a noisy handwriter. But yeah, so it's basically just like, I knew that's obviously your 1, and then 5th fret and 7th fret are 4 and 5. And then I was thinking, okay, what's the 3? No, there we go. And I thought, if that's the 3, then you kind of like, you kind of got the shape for all the other chords. And I was figuring out like other voicings for the 5. That's both a 5, both of those are a 5. So anyway, just kind of figuring out, okay, I like all those voicings, let's try and figure out something. And just started like riffing on stuff. And that has the melody kind of baked in, you know?
Yeah.
That's like the...
There's not much you're going to deviate from that one, is there?
No, you're not going to be like... Actually, no,
you're even trying to do it.
Yeah. It's kind of forced upon me. So yeah, I came up with that. I had that going. I knew I needed a B section, so I thought, let's keep it really simple. And I just went 3 to the 6, 4, 1, and then kind of same again, but a little bit different at the end. 3, 6, 4, 5, which leads you back into.
I hate to point out on your Roman numerals, if it's that 6, that should be VI rather than IV.
But this is the verse, you see. The chorus is a little different.
That should also be VI as opposed to IV.
Oh no! My Roman numerals, my pride and joy.
How will you know when your favourite films were copyrighted?
I've been watching Star Wars Episode 4 the whole time. I thought A New Hope was the finale of the original trilogy. I'm a fool. But yeah, anyway, so when I kind of came up with like, okay, I got the music basically, and I've got kind of like a vocal melody, obviously baked in, like I said, and then I just kind of woke up on day 5 of 7 of writing, and I thought, what do I want to write about? And I had one of those days where it's just ironic, because like today I feel like better and everything, but I had one of those days where I overslept, and I kind of got up really late, and it was like, the light was already coming through the curtains, and I was like behind on the whole day, and like then I had a bunch of stuff to do, and everything just felt really like a lot of pressure. I had bills unpaid, I had things to sort out, and all that.
You were dangerously close to the beginning of a blues song. All you needed was for your dog to die.
I woke up this morning and my dog was dead,
which really surprised me, because I didn't know the dog before tomorrow.
Because I don't have a dog. Yeah, so just kind of wrote about that, and that's why I kind of think it has that melancholy feel, both musically and lyrically. And I thought, like, let's lean into it and just kind of, it's talking about things like, the fourth verse is kind of the epitome of it. You wake another day, but the sun's already shone. You go to fix the cracks, but another one's formed. You take a little break and see another new day's gone. But I said through in the demo, but anyway. But then changed it around in the chorus so it's like a little bit more upbeat, like find where you tripped up last time, leave a little sign for you. So like you can probably improve next time. Someday you'll look back laughing, seeing all the time you knew kind of what to do. Just kind of puts a bit more of a positive spin on it. But similarly to yours, it's quite a simple song and there's not really much more going on than I've described.
I think it's quite interesting that we've both eschewed bridges this time.
Yeah, we have.
Damn bridges.
I feel like
they knew what they did.
Neither of our songs really warranted bridges this time.
It's kind of they don't go far enough to warrant it, because the point of the bridge is that it's a big shift from one idea to another.
Yeah, I think whereas both of us had like one idea this time, which is like, yours is like, I could go and do that thing, but I could get away. Yeah. And mine's just like, it's been a bad day and things are tough today.
So you had a bad day,
I was about to play it on this and I was thinking, I do not know how to play this instrument well enough to play a bad day on it. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this song. Apart from, let me have a look at my little notes here.
Your little notes there?
Due to a major chord, melody and riff, about feeling stuck, written in second person. I think that's a little bit of a different thing.
So just describe that a second, just for clarity, because I think we all know what first and third are.
Yeah, first I, third, whatever else.
Is third person is like descriptive, like they did this.
Yeah, whereas second person is you are doing this. You are doing this. It's not many books are written in that way, and I thought rather than this being like I woke up late today and I had a shit day, I thought it'd be a bit more interesting and.
If you woke up today and you had a shit day.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, it works, doesn't it? Like in terms of like creating sort of the intended feeling in the listener, it's directly putting them in your shoes.
Yeah, and also like rather than leaning into like this is something that's happening to me, woe is me. It's more like kind of we all go through this, like we all go through this, and like this is what happens when you feel stuck, sort of thing. Rather than it's all about me. So. But yeah, that's about all I can think about to say for this song.
Well, I really like this one. I think with that sort of tin can guitar, it does give the feeling of being like almost like a show epilogue or something. Like the big play is finished and everything has gone wrong for whatever character.
Yeah.
And you just stumble out with your little tin guitar and go like, yeah, things went bad, but you know what? They'd be better.
Yeah, I imagine myself with like little angel wings that are strapped on for some reason, like little tiny ones.
Maybe you're dead.
Maybe I am.
Everybody's dead, Roger. Gordon Bennett. Yes, Roger. Everyone is dead. Dead is everyone. Everybody is dead, Roger. I wish I'd never brought it up.
All right. Yeah, that's this week's song.
I love that. That's fantastic. Please tell me you're recording that.
Yeah, definitely. Gonna do something with it. Something gentle and delicate. But yeah.
Can I put rubbish, like heavy, terrible, loud things on it?
When you did that, you made me think of harmonium for some reason. Do you have a harmonium?
Not on me, no.
Not on me. You don't keep a pocket one?
No.
Okay, fine. Each to their own.
Harmonium, that's the instrument they use on Sgt. Pepper, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. The one that has the weird, and like it's on Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields.
No, that's the mellotron.
No, it's not the mellotron.
The harmonium is like a keyed instrument, but it's got like bellows on the back.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a accordion a bit.
Yeah, no, we are thinking of the same thing. I didn't mean Sgt. Pepper, Strawberry Fields, but it is around that.
It's on Beatles stuff, yeah, yes. For sure.
Yes. Anyway, we have adequately described what a harmonium is.
Also,
onwards.
You may hear us like hurrying towards the end of the sections because the cameras are going to die, not die, but like they have like a certain amount of time they can record for. So we hurry up at the end of the section.
Aside from that, we drank too much coffee.
Okay, so we've listened to each other's songs. We've spoken about how we wrote them. But you already know that because you've been watching and listening to the episode anyway. So
if you've made it through this far without getting that, well done, seriously.
Maybe you just skip ahead past the songs. I don't know. I really don't. No, I'm joking. So now we're going to talk about some stuff we've been listening to. Declan, what's been on your radar this week?
Well, nothing's been on my radar as such, but what has been on my turntable has been a couple of Foles records, which I bought for cheap. The record Holy Fire and Everything Not Saved Will Be Lost Part 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was a bit late to being a Foles fan. I only really got into them via Everything Not Saved Will Be Lost Part 2, which was sadly not available for vinyl purchase at the time. But I have Part 1 and I like Part 1. It's got On the Lunar and that's a banger. And Holy Fire is... have you ever heard of the song My Number?
No, I can't say I have.
That's quite good. I'll show you that later.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
But yeah, it's good dance math rock.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Do you prefer Part 1 or Part 2 of Everything Not Saved Will Be Lost?
I think I prefer Part 2, but Part 1 has been growing on me. Just because I'm waiting for the moment where On the Lunar starts. And it's just like, yes, here we go, boys.
You know, the weirdest thing, my listening to this week is a Part 1, Part 2 album as well.
Yeah.
Strange.
What Part 1 and what Part 2?
Use Your Illusion 1, Use Your Illusion 2 by Guns N' Roses.
Okay, I'm not as familiar with them as I probably should be. I have listened to both of them.
Well, it's the follow-up to...
Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah, with, Sweet Child of Mine and Welcome to the Jungle and...
Paradise City.
Yeah, Paradise City, all the big kind of... but then this is the one with November Rain and things like that.
The Sweet November Rain. And the Knocking on Heaven's Door cover.
Yes, and the track that Axl Rose snuck onto Use Your Illusion 2, My World, which he made by himself and didn't tell anyone that was going to be on the album until the album was being pressed, and then he put it on the album and everyone was mad at him.
I'd be mad. If I'd known that was an option and I was in that band, I'd have been like filling up that track. It would have been a triple album.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a good album. I mean, it's way more adventurous than Appetite for Destruction.
I think the thing is, Appetite for Destruction, Like It or Lump It, is a very concise, defined chunk of Guns N' Roses. It exactly what it says on the tin.
Exactly.
I think my problem with Use Your Illusion is that it sprawls a bit much for my taste, and I'm also not the biggest Guns N' Roses fan, so take that criticism with a hefty grain of salt, enough to cause you heart problems later on down the line.
I am the biggest Guns N' Roses fan, or I was. When I was a teenager, I had long blonde hair and I dyed like the roots black, so I'd look just like Duff McKagan on the Use Your Illusion tour.
And now you make tin guitars.
How the mighty have fallen. But yeah, it's a great. It was kind of like a White Album type of album to me. It's like lots of everyone's writing on that album. It's not just kind of like all ensemble tracks. It's like you got different people trying different stuff and different genres and stuff like that. So yeah.
I mean, as much as I think as a not Guns N' Roses fan, I'd probably always go for Appetite than Illusion. I can see the appeal in like a big, like sprawling sort of thing. Am I correct in saying that's the last record with like the famous lineup?
Not quite. There's an album after that called The Spaghetti Incident, which
I thought that was first, and that was a live record.
No, you're thinking GNR Lies. That's between Appetite and Use Your Illusion. The reason I didn't mention that as the second one is because that's like a little EP type of thing. And then
I thought there was a live album they released before Appetite.
Before Appetite?
Yeah.
Maybe. You're probably right. But then Spaghetti Incident was after Use Your Illusion in like 1998 or something, and then they just exploded and broke up. And then they made Chinese...
Quite literally exploded.
They did. And then they made... Well, not they. Axl Rose made Chinese Democracy, which I think is great, but they should have...
I haven't heard.
They should have changed their band name. It's such a different type of music,
Yeah, well, basically, isn't the running joke that of the two bands, like Velvet Revolver are probably the one that shouldn't have changed your name, and Guns N' Roses... That's
a good point.
...are probably one that should have.
That's a really good point, yeah. I never thought about it like that before, but yeah, I'm a Guns N' Roses fan.
Fair play.
So we got two kind of like... I know you said you listened to part 1, right? Of,
yes.
Everything Not Saved Will Be Lost. But, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we were listening to this week.
So that's it for this episode of the Weekly Song Podcast. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you've heard, if you've got any comments, if you've written a song within a week that you'd like us to play on this show here that we do, why not write in to weeklysongpodcast@gmail.com. That's weeklysongpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on various places where podcasts are found. Put us into Google. I'm not your mum. We have a joint project together where we record music, some of which has been on the podcast. It's called Schnookums, SCHNOOKUMS. And that is available on all good streaming services and some of the bad ones too. Roger,
Yes.
where can people find your music?
You can find it on Bandcamp at rogerheathers.bandcamp.com. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, and all the other popular streaming services. I have my latest album is called Racing Alone. It was released in January of this year, and it's my favourite solo thing I've done. And so check that out. And you can also follow me on Instagram at rogerheathers. And Declan, how about you? Where can people find you and your music online?
You can find me here every week, forever and ever and ever. But you can find my music on Spotify, Bandcamp, Tidal, various other places.
Why are the outros always so unhinged? It's like we release all the energy.
It's like we start off trying to be professional and then we give up the pretense halfway through the show.
It just falls off.
Yes. Much like my sanity, love. You can find my music on all the streaming platforms. I don't have much out, but I have enough out to make you regret your purchases on Bandcamp. So that's about it. We shall be back again next week.
That's right, yeah.
Yes, we will.
Back next week with our 5th songs of season 19. Thank you all so much for joining us. Really appreciate everyone watching and listening. And we love you.
Do we though?
Nah.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. Which is the outro.
This is me. This is my job.
God.
How much have I forgotten? Nobody knows.
Go on, it'll come to you.
Bye.
This is a short episode.
Oh, God.